All right, so I'm over here at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, which is pretty appropriate. I'm showing off my 1973 Ford Econoline Boogie van I just picked up a few weeks ago. It sat for a long time. The last tag on the plate was 2012, but I suspect it was sitting a lot longer than that, and they were just paying the registration fees on it every year. It really is a time capsule. I haven't washed it at all. Basically, we've gotten it running, did a carburetor, did the fuel system flush, did a radiator, all the normal stuff, the brakes, everything you do when a vehicle sits. It's got brand new white letter tires. But I mean, this thing was pretty cool. It's kind of like a mild custom van from the 1970s. The lady that had it, she said she was the original owner. She thought she was the original owner. It was actually, this wasn't on Craigslist or anything like that. It was actually a van that, believe it or not, I would literally drive past this just about every single day. Never noticed it in the driveway. It was kind of like tucked away. One day I'm driving through. It was actually like in the middle of the year, and my daughter looks over and she says, "Daddy, those people have their Christmas decorations up still." And I looked over and I saw the van. So for about 2.5, 3 years, I've actually been leaving notes on this van. I talked to the lady that owned it once. She wasn't ready to sell it. Finally, a few weeks ago, they literally called me and they said, "Come in this Saturday. We need this out of here." There was also a 1984 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham sitting behind it, which is kind of ironic because I just picked up an 84 Sedan DeVille. Basically got the Brougham running quickly and sold it because I really just wanted the van. So it was kind of a package deal. I got both vehicles out of there. I'm just going to show you the van. It's pretty cool. It's a total time capsule from the 1970s. I mean, as you can see, it's got the slotted mags. It's still got a AudioVax AM FM stereo in it from the 70s. Most of the speakers are down. Unfortunately, there is some water damage. The roof vent that's on the roof is actually plastic, so it broke. So it let a lot of moisture in. I used to have a lot of the wood paneling inside. Now all that's gonna have to be redone. I'm thinking I'm just gonna leave the exterior looking kind of patinaed because it kind of looks cool. I might try to buff it out, see if the paint comes back a little bit. But it's kind of cool. It's a yellow van. I mean, it's a shorty van, which is very desirable. It's got a 302 V8 with an automatic transmission. So even though it was kind of like a base model van, it had like basically the top of the line motor and transmission you can get in this van. My daughter calls it the Yellow Submarine, so I think that's kind of like the name since it's yellow and has a porthole on the side. So that's kind of the name it's kind of going to stick, because actually the guy at the tire place thought it looked like the Yellow Submarine too, so now two people think it looks like the Yellow Submarine. So that's basically what it is now. So I'm going to show you the van, and I'm going to try to do some shots driving around, and I'll just document, I'll update you on anything I do to the van. I'm going to try to take it to a van run here in January. And there's the SoCal Slow Ride. Basically, it's ready to go. It's just, I got to fix a few little things on it. But I've been driving around the last couple days, and it actually runs really amazing. It's only got about 90,000 miles. All right, so I'm going to do a walk around the van, kind of show everybody what's going on with it. It actually had the cool US slotted mags on it, so of course I stuck with that because it gives it that very 70s vibe. I put brand new white letter tires on it because the tires are on are actually brand new, but they sat for probably about 20 years. So this van really wasn't driven much. In fact, I found a smog certificate from the early 90s when you still had a smog of 73 vehicle, and since 93 it only traveled about 250 miles in that time. So I mean, it's got the painted grille, which is kind of like a base model grille. The Let's Boogie plate frame actually came off of a truck I had. I just kind of held on to it just for the right vehicle to put it on. This seemed like the one to put it on. I mean, as you can see, it's original yellow paint with a brown stripe that was painted on it one time that's very faded. You go inside, I mean, it's like straight out of the 70s. It's got, it's got the AudioVax AM FM stereo, which kind of works. It's very staticky. In fact, there's only one speaker that's still hooked up. Speedometer is actually surprisingly in good shape because those are usually really clouded over on these. So it's kind of surprising. It's got just the standard low back seats. Somebody put like some lounge chair in here, and it's got a bed. I'll get around to the back because the bed is actually pretty cool the way they did it. It's pretty custom. Wood paneled interior, shag carpeting on the doors. It looks like it had shag carpeting on the floor as well. And judging by the doghouse, it probably had shag carpeting there too, but it's long gone. And then the door on the other side, the shag carpeting's gone. You can see the glue still. So I'm gonna walk around it some more. It's got the cool porthole windows on it. On the back, it's got the remnants of the Keep on Truckin' license plate frame. I have no idea how that frame got completely bent, and then the plate's actually completely flat. So that's a complete mystery to me how that happened. But it's got the original blue license plates. They're still registered to the van. It was actually on non-op all those years, so it was really easy to register. So coming around the back, it actually has the old like RV style van windows, which slide open. Unfortunately, they've caught a lot of dirt, so I'm gonna have to clean them up, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to oil them and like make some seals for them to make them work properly again. Wood paneling on the back as well. As you can see, the bed. This is actually one of the items I found in here. It's an original Chargertron. It's like a knockoff of a Transformer from Buddy L from 1984. Now this is the best part. It says, not collect them all, it says collect them both. So they actually only made 2 different models of these. That tells you how they generally thought probably it wasn't going to be a success. You can see the bed. It's kind of a crazy like 70s yellow fabric. And this big pillow thing is actually like bolted down. So I don't know, and I don't think it would be that comfortable to sleep in. I mean, I've found some camping stuff, so I know they did camp in this thing, but I don't know if they were kind of just going for that like full custom 70s, if they took this thing to van shows or van meets. But this thing does not move, and it's like rock solid. It's not a pillow. These are actually some of the panels from the back here. As you can see, it had like the speakers in the back, and then these were on the overhead pieces. You can see it had more of the fabric from the bed. This is actually just an old like generic dustbuster thing from the 70s. Like I said, this van wasn't touched for so many years. Coming around to this side, I mean, you can see it still has the barn doors. You know, no window barn doors. I have a feeling that this was actually a no window van and didn't have windows in the back as well at one time, like when it was built. So the barn doors open fine. Kind of get an idea what's going on with the chair. I don't know if I'm gonna leave it in there or not. It's there and it's comfortable. I actually cleaned out a lot of stuff out of here. You can see where the roof vent had leaked, and it's all surface rust. It's taken the original paint off of the overhead, so it just needs to be sanded down and primed, which I'm gonna probably get to before I do have to redo the wood paneling, because I really want to keep this thing looking as like 70s original as possible. But overall, I mean, it's a good van. It's like I said, I've been driving around. This thing runs like amazing. Of course, it's had a tune-up. Had to replace the headlight bulbs, but the only thing I've modified on it, I actually put a charge port so I can charge my phone while I'm driving, because that's kind of a necessity. The cigarette lighter doesn't work anymore. So I'll just start it up. I mean, I don't know if you can hear the engine running with my mic. I mean, basically it just purrs, and the transmission runs good. I got a stack of receipts from all sorts of stuff she did over the years on this van. So overall I'm very pleased with it. I mean, I see myself holding on to this van for a very long time. It's definitely a keeper. All right, so we're gonna take this thing out for a little spin right now. Still in the Rose Bowl parking lot, but that's okay. Basically it starts right up. It's right into gear. I mean, this thing really was a cool find. Like, I've got my Dodge van, which you've seen in the other videos, which I've used for Lemons Rally, as well as taking it to different events, different vanning events. That one's cool because it's got air conditioning. This one does not have air conditioning, and I'm sure it would cost a fortune to retrofit it. But this one's just so much like more authentic 70s cool van, if you will. And I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out what I should do. Right now I got both vans still. My buddy thinks I should sell one of them, like keep this one, but they're both cool for like different reasons. I think the Dodge is better if I go camping, especially since it has air conditioning. I can take my daughter in it. It's got like the high back bucket seats, which are a lot more stable. I don't know. It has the the high back bucket seats, which are a lot safer than the low back seats in this one. Plus, of course, that has the shoulder belts. I mean, it's just, you figure it's a 10-year difference in vans between this and my Dodge. The fact that it's a 10-year difference, I mean, it just, like, the amount of safety stuff they put on them in 10 years is pretty incredible. So that one's obviously, it's like I said, it's a safer van. This one has drum brakes, manual assist, does not have power steering. So basically this car has no power steering, no power brakes, low back seats, flat belts only, four-wheel drum brakes on this one. The Dodge is front-wheel disc. The Dodge is a better van, for driving, for safety and that sort of thing, but this van is just so much cooler. I mean, this is, I'm trying to figure out what to do with the bed in the back, because it's kind of cool because it's got that old school vibe to it that but I mean, do I really want to camp on the thing? I mean, if I took it out and put something else that's like better, it would make more sense than running, to put something I can actually use for camping, or make something that I could remove if I have to haul stuff with this, or put a motorcycle or scooter in the back. So it's really, what do I do with this van? Right now I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to cruise it. I'm going to take it some van meets. I'm going to take it some cruise nights, kind of show it off, because it really is sort of a barn find, even though it was in a driveway.